Camelot 331 here, and today I am here with Ashley, who was the girl that got terminated from GameStop because of my videos. We're going to go through her story today. She's going to lay it all down, all the details, all the nasty details, and we're going to get into it. It's going to be great, so let's get into it. So first, let's go over the history. Basically, when you came into the company, how long you've been there. So you came into the company in
2011.
2011. So you were a part-timer.
Yes.
So she's a part-timer in 2011. When did you get moved up to SGA?
2013.
2013. And then store manager was in 2016.
Yeah. ASM was like 2014.
Okay. So she got moved up to store manager in 2016. So she's been there the whole time, fighting all the demons, battling from the front lines. It's been terrible and ghastly, even though back in 2011, 2012 wasn't that bad. It was kind of fun, to be honest. Like, midnight releases were kind of fun. You know, there was like friendly competition between stores and stuff. It was kind of fun. But of course, as you know, as we all know, it got pretty crazy there in the end, and it's still just going crazy. So tell us basically like what happened that day, like what led up to, you know, the end result, like what, you know, from just basically start to finish.
Okay, so I came in and it was a Thursday, so obviously perpetual counts. I do my perpetual count and I, answer the phone, get a couple customers on the phone, have a couple questions. I get a call from another store and it's a friend, and I'm super excited because, she just came back to the company, gonna get to have all the conversations, have a friend working for the company again.
Yeah, unlike, I haven't been there. Because I used to call her, we'd call each other and be like, what's your circle of life look like? What's your circle of life look like? And both be equally sad because everything's terrible all the time. So, she had a new friend apparently. So
yeah. So I'm on the phone with her and I look up and Market HR is walking in my store.
Same guy, actually. So the tool man, you guys remember. The tool man, the dastardly tool man, he walks in and he is now the market HR, not just the normal HR for the region. He's the market HR. So this is, so he's more scary now. So he walks in the store.
And he says, I bet you didn't expect to see me here at your store again.
Yeah. And like, you don't, it's like, It's foreshadowing right there. That's complete foreshadowing. It's like, you didn't expect to see me. Well, here I am.
So, obviously I asked him, you're here for good reasons. And he's like, yeah, of course. It's always good. And, he starts walking around the store, checking it out a little bit. He asks if I'm going to be prestige, asked, how the rankings go. Prestige is, actually based on customer surveys, stuff like that, customer interactions. He then tells me he's going to go check some emails in the back. So he goes and sets up at my desk, and you can't be on the clock when you're sitting at the desk. But.
Yeah. He could be on the clock when he's at the desk. I'm not allowed to be, unfortunately.
And then he asked me to unlock the DVR because, he has to check his emails.
Yeah, I mean, like, the most integral part of checking your emails is also checking the cameras at the same time because they're completely correlated.
So he starts, he opens the DVR and he's like, okay, thanks. I'm just going to check my emails, go on, get out of here. And, I walk back up front and I'm straightening up the store and, already understanding my demise. And
you know it's coming. You just know it's coming. You don't know how, you don't know why. But it's coming.
And it's kind of like a train wreck. You can't just get out of it because it's already happening.
It's like you kind of want to see how it plays out. Like you can't just walk out the door. Like I should have just walked out, but you're like kind of wanting to see.
Yeah, and at that point, like so early in it, I had already started detaching my lanyard because it was my lanyard. It wasn't GameStop's lanyard, so I detached my lanyard, and I was ready. I put my lanyard in my purse. And,
I was ready. You had accepted your fate. Just don't take my damn lanyard. It's all I have left.
So he comes out and he's like, the DVR is working fine. And
It's working. It's working.
He starts walking around and training me, and he wants to make sure that the store is performing well. He starts asking me about, sales, profit, starts talking to me about conference, and he's like, are you excited? Are you excited about Nashville? And I'm like,
I mean, should I be excited, Toolman? Mr. Toolman, should I be excited about conference that's very soon that I'm definitely going to?
Remember when you used to think you was going to get fired right before conference?
I always felt like, I'm like, conference is in a week. Here it comes. I'm like, all I want to do is go to conference and get turned, man. That's all I want to do. And I know they're going to fire me, which is crazy that they let all the DMs and the RLs go right before conference. That blows, man.
Hey, I mean, that saves a lot of money.
It does save a lot of money.
So he asked me how excited I am for conference. He goes into great detail. Hey, are you going to drive? He starts telling me about how it's way easier for him to drive to conference because of where he lives, stuff like that. Starts telling me about how amazing Nashville is, how I'm really going to love it. Starts asking me about my family. Asked me how my baby's doing. And then he's like, oh, well, he's not a baby anymore, is he? And I'm like, no, he's actually about, 15 months, but he's still my baby. And he starts telling me about, his children. We have a nice little heart-to-heart moment. And it's, the clouds are clearing a little bit. It's starting to look a little better. I feel a little bit better about my life. And he starts telling me, hey, we need these signs put up. We need to talk to your ASM about, getting her ready for a store. We need to have her give feedback more often. Let's print these things out. Can you show me where this is? So I start walking him through, basically how to work for GameStop. And
you have to show him how to find emails on GSO and stuff because he doesn't know.
So we print them off and we post them up in the store, and he's talking about how great it's going to be, how much he's going to help the store. And we start talking about my team. We start talking about things that I can do, recruiting processes, future events, things like that. And then he walks in the back and my DM shows up.
The same DM. It's the same guy. Literally the same guy shows up. It's perfect. It's like the perfect scenario.
And my DM is just distraught. Clearly, his face is just crestfallen. Is that the word?
Solemn.
And he says, "Is he in the back?" And I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "Yeah, I got a call this morning." Like, when your parents get a call from the school.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
I got a call this morning, and he starts telling me, hey, I didn't know he was going to be here. If I had known he was going to be here, I would have been here this morning. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's no problem. It's not your job to, hold my hand and warn me. And he's like, you're right. It's not.
You're right. This is great. I feel way better about this.
It's not my job to care.
I don't care anymore. You just completely validated everything.
Yeah. So he goes in the back and they start talking, and he walks back out, and an employee walks in. An employee that used to be one of mine, but she was at a different store. She was a little bit unhappy and wanting to transfer back. So she walks in, and she's just there to hang out with me. She's surprised, and DM's surprised, and he's like, hey, I didn't know you worked here today. And she's like, I didn't know you were going to be here today.
It's like neither of them knew that the other person was going to be there. It's almost like they didn't plan this at all.
Yeah. No planning.
No planning. It was all it all perfectly aligned to where she could take over for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And the rest of my shift for the next week.
Exactly.
Yes. So they had their little conversation about unexpected encounters, and HR comes out and he starts talking, and we start, going around the store a little bit, moving some more stuff around, and she doesn't clock in or anything because she's not supposed to be there. Well, my actual key holder comes in, and he clocks in, and 2 minutes after he clocks in, they're like, hey, can we borrow you?
Because that's what they say. They literally say, hey, can I borrow you for a second? Because they're totally going to return you. Unfortunately, they usually never return you to the place you want to be returned to. It's usually like your car and your house. But, yeah, they usually say that. Can I borrow you, buddy?
Or the unemployment line.
Or the unemployment line. That's where they're pushing you.
So they take me in the back, and I sit down, and my DM immediately starts bragging on me. And he's like, yeah, so Ashley ran our Hamacon, and she helped set some stuff up, and she brought some stuff, and she handed out a whole bunch of goodies. She got all this free stuff ordered for customers. And a whole bunch of other managers helped out, and we're having a really good time with these events, because these events are really helping the company move forward in their new, vision. I'm going to turn it over to you, tool man.
Yeah. So then it's after he bragged on her, it is now Toolman's time to talk.
So Toolman says, we received a call. That's the reason we're here. We received a complaint. And honestly, it couldn't be validated. So we're not going to address it. But we did find some irregularities. So he opens up his little folder, and he's got a paper, and he's like, on these 2 days, it shows that your alarm was deactivated at like 10:40, and the store opens at 10 o'clock. So that's late to open, and that's absolutely fireable, because everything's fireable. You can't sneeze. It's fireable. Yeah. And he wants to know, he's like, hey, so why does it say that you were here at 9 o'clock if the alarm was deactivated at 10? And I'm like, well, we've had problems with our alarm system for a while. They actually replaced the alarm system earlier this year because we had so many problems with the alarm system. We would get calls all the time, and they would be like, hey, your store's not open. And I'm like, you literally called me at the store, and I'm here. So we're open. It's fine. We're good.
I'm literally here right now.
Yes. If I'm not, then we're not open, I'm leaving. But so they saw the 2 days where I had opened late, but I had clocked in, arrived at the store at 9 o'clock.
So basically her alarm, like Checkpoint Security is the security company that, sets up the alarm systems, and it's for some reason not deactivating, like when she deactivates it. So it's deactivating later at like 10:40, which makes it appear like she's not there, but she clocked in at 9, and, she's on the cameras at 9, but they are basically using that as a reason to terminate. And when did this happen? The opens late.
The late openings happened back in May, and the camera only goes back 60 days exactly.
So they didn't even have video evidence of her like actually doing anything. Because there's no evidence on the security cameras. So they're just taking the alarms being basically deactivated at 10:40 as their evidence of her opening the store late 2 months ago. Okay. So what else did he say? The tool man, HR.
So he, wraps it up. Explains that, that's a big no-no, opening the store late. And I explain, I've never opened the store late. Like, ever. Since that store has been my store, the store was open late. One time, while I was at conference, by a third key that didn't know he worked. And that was not me. I was not the third key. I was at conference.
You were not there. That was not you.
And he was not fired.
Yeah, he was not fired. What the hell? I thought it was a fireable offense.
So he wraps everything up, and he says he's going to, go talk to the other guys, and he walks up front. And when he walks up front, I ask my DM, and I'm like, can I ask what the complaint was? Like, what did they say? And he shakes his head, and he says, it doesn't matter. And I say, well, it matters to me. Can I at least ask, was it a customer or was it an associate? And he just shakes his head. He's not going to answer me. He's not even going to let me know what this complaint is. And I feel like I was a pretty decent store manager because I just tried to make people happy. So my assistant manager wanted to start opening on Saturdays. So I just started closing every other Saturday. And I mean, I don't know a lot of managers that like to close on Saturdays.
I did not.
Yeah.
So.
But you like to sit at your desk a lot, so.
I did sit at my desk a lot. And that's a big no-no. Especially when the store is not open. You definitely don't want to sit there when the store is not open.
So he didn't want to let me know what the complaint was, but HR walks back in and he says, "Oh, by the way, our complaint was that you have been leaking company information." And I just kind of start laughing because at this point I'm just incredulous that this is happening over this, and I just laugh and I'm like, "To Cody," and he says, "Yes, to Cody," and I'm like, "Well, I haven't talked to him in months. I definitely don't give him any information. We were really good friends when he worked here. We talked all the time, comparing numbers and stuff. We don't have numbers to compare anymore."
And that's the thing is, that's the dumbest part about this is she actually didn't give me any information. It had nothing to do with her. It was to other people all across the U.S. But for some reason, they just thought it was her because apparently somebody from another store actually called and said that it was her. I guess somebody that doesn't like me called and said it was you that was leaking information.
Yeah, that basically, he said, "Well, we couldn't prove it, but time card fraud."
By time card fraud. So the DM, was he the one that said he was terminating you?
Yes, yeah. HR turned things over to the DM after he explained that it's a big no-no to, clock in before the alarm is deactivated, even if it's malfunctioning.
Even if it doesn't work, it's fine.
And he turned it over to the DM, and the DM let me know that they were terminating my employment. And he didn't really, meet my eyes. But so they slid the leaked information in after everything was final. That way it was unofficially the reason.
Yeah, so they said basically, we couldn't confirm that you did this, but you're totally fired for it. And it's like, but you did, the alarm says you opened, the store late 2 months ago twice, so we're firing you for that. Even though I wasn't really, making YouTube videos that much 2 months ago. So it's completely and utterly because of my videos. And they completely just fired somebody randomly that had nothing to do with them. That's the crazy part for me. So what happened after that?
They helped me, box up my stuff, and I got to carry my stuff out just like the movies, with your little plant, and except it was books. And the DM actually told me he didn't hug me like he usually does,
He hugged me.
Well, he didn't hug me. I don't matter that much, but he told me, you were starting to be a really good manager, and you were starting to be a really good person.
You're starting to be.
Starting to be.
It's only been 8 years. It's like you're starting to be good, but too
starting
bad.
to be. But then you had a friend, and can't have friends.
Yeah, it's crazy too. And one of the big things about that DM is he was always notorious for starting male store managers out at a higher rate, exponentially, and starting female store managers at a lower rate. That was one thing he always did. And when I got moved up, I was started out at a decent rate. And every time I heard of a female getting promoted to store manager, I always heard they were started out at such a low rate. Is that something that you can confirm? Because I did you get started? I don't even feel like I have to ask this.
Did I confirm that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like the comments after this video is probably going to confirm it too. But yeah, I can absolutely confirm it. I know for a fact that at least 3 out of the 4 managers that were promoted after me, all males, made at least $2.50 more than I did when I'd been in the position for almost 3 years more than them.
That's something that's really notorious with that DM. I'm not sure if it happens all over GameStop, but it sure did happen in our district. And he is still there. He's there right now. He might be watching this, and he just does not like females, and I'm not sure why. I don't. He's kind of old, so maybe that's it. Old dudes don't like females. Why? When I get old, maybe I won't either. There's something about being old and not liking females. I don't know what it is.
Low T.
Low T. It's low testosterone, damn it.
He also does not interview females.
He doesn't interview females, even when they're interested in a position, which you are by law required to do so. But it's fine. He's still there working right now, and no one cares. It's totally cool. A little tidbit, though, something that warmed my heart immensely. She sent me a screenshot of LinkedIn, and it appears that the tool man, the HR manager, was terminated with the restructuring. He posted a little status on LinkedIn saying that he was no longer with GameStop as a result of the restructuring. Small win for us. He took our lives and ruined everything. Made me want to die. I always want to die. I don't want to die anyway. But he did that, and now he's not there. So it's a small win that we get to relish in. I look at the screenshot a lot. I will post it right now. It's great. Anyway, anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I want to thank Negative Creep for sure.
Native Creep is great. She's the mother of the Discord. We love you. I hope you're watching this. She's watching it.
She's watching it.
She's watching it right now.
Well, Discord Mother has been amazing. She posted a video, and she was just thanking everybody for, helping me out on the GoFundMe that she started. And it makes me emotional. I was just, crying at 2 a.m, trying not to wake everybody up because, tears are loud. And, She's amazing because she doesn't even know me and she cares. She really does.
And that's one important thing, because I'm glad you said that, because that is what this channel is about. It's about having fun, making people smile, and taking care of each other. The Familot is not about me. It's not about you. It's not about Negative Creep. It's about everybody involved. And I appreciate each and every one of you and Negative Creep for making the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe and Negative Creep's video will be in the description. Please consider helping her out with her transition. She has 3 kids that she's trying to support, and she's trying to transition into a new job, and all of you know what that's like. It is absolutely a nightmare. All the anxiety of learning new things, and of course that month period where you don't have money, like you don't get a paycheck for like a month. So if there's anything that we can do, specifically the Familot, to help her basically transition into this new position and make her not have to give up, parts of her life and get rid of things and basically make ends meet. If we can make ends meet for her for this next month, that would really mean a lot to her. Means a lot to me, means a lot to Negative Creep and everybody in the Familot. So that's all we have. I just wanted to bring her on and let her tell her side of the story. Let you guys get it from her perspective.
Surprise, I'm real.
She's real. I got comments that are like, she's not even real. She's a real person. It really happened. Unfortunately. The GameStop's really that bad. Like, some people don't realize. They're like, oh, companies can't be that bad. Yeah, they can. They totally can. Thanks, everyone, so much for your support. It means the world to me. Make sure you check out all the links in the description. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and follow me on the Twitter. Message me on there. I love talking to people. I do. Everybody knows I do. We talk for hours about emotions and other things. Thanks so much to my patrons. I love each and every one of you. Until next time, get on it. Doggone it.
I can't sing.
Bye.